Hello guys and welcome back as we are gonna get into match number 2, and look who's got a webcam, ladies and gentlemen. Here we do have the beauty that is live. Mr. Tanaka himself fascinates as our co-caster for this second game. So how you doing, Fascinate? How you doing tonight of all nights, especially against these two upcoming teams and their preparation?
Yes, hello, and right, welcome back, webcam. I was able to fix my webcam now, and yes, hopefully hindi siya magloko. It won't turn off in the middle of like our our talk segment thing, kind of. And yeah, it's really good. So far, it's okay. Nothing's like too big, like a problem or something like that dito sa amin. So far, so good. So, and hopefully everyone else rin, like Dax and the viewers, like players, all of them uh, are okay. And yeah, hopefully no one has, everyone is safe within the epidemic that we're going through right now and
Oh my
this
god.
quarantine, right?
Dude, especially
And
you. You should stay safe, That's I'm just gonna as far as I'm gonna get into that, but yeah, that's it's kind of scary. Hope you stay safe, Mr. Tanaka. But
yeah,
yeah,
thank you very
yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Pero
But
yeah, talking about like these two, we've seen them play Memecord and Overwine, and actually, this is an interesting matchup because they are the bottom two teams right now, I believe, with the score of 0-2 each, and now we'll be able to see who will rise above, who will rise above against these two teams right here. But so far, um, uh, I want to see what improvements there are with the Overwine squad. And as for Meme Cord, they need to ban out Calamitas and Somi for this match.
yeah, yeah.
And we'll see the debut of Akashi on the DPS roster. Sorry, on the DPS line along with Sato. And yeah, as for the side of Overwine, we'll also have another new player replacing, I forgot who's going to leave. Was it it was one of the, I no, sorry, Dominici. Yeah, Dominici will be replaced by Huta. And
Ooh,
yeah,
Utas.
we will they both have a very different DPS lineup, or sorry, DPS roster, I guess you can say. So they might have a Overwine might have a different approach. Uh,
I'm really curious to see what this new Overwine experience is going to be giving us. In terms of the rule set in the New Wave Invitationals, we do allow a few swaps if need be in terms of that chess, but right here, right now, it seems like we are going to be having a few members here and there for both squadrons. Overwind though, Mr. Yuki, Mr. Fascinate, you have been working with them for quite a while already, really trying to get them ready to go in many situations and many outputs of the game. What do you think has been the improvement so far of the Overwind squadron?
for Overwine, I believe they are um they lack like some of the fundamentals that special, but they are really easy to talk to. They intake information quite fast, I believe, and I would like to coach them more, but yeah, it's kind of hard as well because it's not that easy scrimmages, right? Or because not everyone is there over 7. Okay. I'll keep my mic closer to my mouth. Wait lang.
That
Because
how
it got like,
is that how you talk in the mic? You're just like, oh, I gotta be this close. I gotta be this
yeah,
close. But you were saying like Overwine, right? They're really trying to get better and better, and that's something very
right,
commendable.
exactly. Yes,
For
definitely, for sure.
And I do want to talk about Memecord on the other side. As we've said before, a lot of hype running onto this team, but they have really, they are basically the Dallas Fuel of Season 1. They are exactly that. Unimpressive results so far. They have taken
Yeah,
one map out of the 8 they have played, and surprising to almost everyone that they are performing this bad into our invitationals. But this might be their beginning. This might be a little bit
right.
of a push that they need to finally get back into form. But they are gonna be doing it without basically their star players in the show. Calamitous gonna get banned out alongside Somi. And speaking of Calamitous, pretty much above and beyond in terms of those stats. He's really, really high up in the stats system in the first place. And looking at Memecord, well, it has really been the Calamitous show in many, many regards. Saito, in the meantime, only 13 on the eliminations in comparison. Well, for 10 minutes, and Akashi, of course, a clean slate. So we'll see if Memecord can get things done on that DPS department. But as we are standing here and now, these are the rosters coming into the New Wave Invitationals. Match number 2 of the night. Blackrock, Guinness, Keltrol, Wotash, Kondak, and Lavariel. The starting 6 for Overwine with Cheesy Panda, Dominici available as reserves. But in the meantime, for the side of Memecord, it's only gonna be the 6-man squadron of Narble, Wacket, Akashi, Saito, Evan, and Sweetfry 23, as Calamitous and Somi are both banned out due to the weight-based ban system. And as we said before, it's a 0-2 standings right here, right now, for both Overwine and Memecord. And it seems like we are gonna be starting things off on to Oasis for our first map. It's gonna be very, very interesting to see Overwine versus Memecord, and you can really say that Overwine is the underdog here, but what they are really gonna be the components for them to get this victory, as we do get confirmation as Oasis is gonna be our first map. What do you think, Mr. Yuki? What really is gonna be the way to go for Overwine here? What is exactly the components? What are exactly the plays they need to do into this upcoming match?
Since as for meme cord side, losing Calamitous and Somi is very is kind of a big deal. But at the same time, Akashi and Sweet Fry, right? Um, they play kind of, especially with Akashi, Akashi and Calamitous both have the same kind of like play style, I believe, or they have the same DPS roster that they play. Like for example, Genji, um, McCree, and some heroes like that. And I don't think that that will help. I think that will help rather. Beamcord be able to stay consistent since they have they won't have to rely on a different strat since they use the same DPS characters. But over the side of Overwine, they have a lot of role adjustments and also a new DPS to boot, which has a different roster or character pools than the one they replaced, which is Dominici. So I guess this is one way they could like experiment since they all have different roles now to fill. And yeah, at the same time, it's exciting to see what they can come up to.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see. So apparently, yeah, we got your information that Dominici won't be able to
Right.
hop on in this week because he's having internet problems, and Kessler is the one dropping out for Wotash to hop in to the roster instead. But hey, it's time to get into this one. Funny thing, Overwine rocking the Dallas Fuel, looking like they are gonna be trying to channel a little bit of that action. And Memecord in the meantime, memeing it up, and it's the Shanghai Dragons. And since this is season 1, is this gonna be the 043 for Memecord? Or will they be finally be able to get a map on? That's gonna be the real question here and now as we get into the action. Oasis will be our first map of this night's match. And well, Oasis, it's gonna be a desert sands floating on in, and we also gonna see a diamond in the rough, a treasure perhaps from one of these two teams. And Overwine and Memecord gonna be facing off in pitch combat, starting things off on University. I'm Daks, Fascinate is with me today. We had Billy on the casting set earlier on, but let's get on, let's get it done, and let's get into Oasis.
Right now, as for this side, do you think that Memecord will play a different style, like or would they stick to what they are comfortable with?
I really think for Memecord, Akashi is basically filling the role of Calamitous right now. Since they have Saito on the board, he's gonna be looking to play his comfort heroes, and Akashi is the one who does adjust. They do have a lot of similarities on that hero pool, playing that Genji, playing that Kree, and apparently Akashi gonna be whipping out the Echo, so it really is gonna be substituting for Calamitous into this one. Sweetfry in the meantime, bringing in a Lucio here for Team Memecord. And this is very interesting because in terms of their support line, they have 3 Mercy mains onto the field. They have 3 Mercy mains on their roster, and for Memecord right now, well, they're playing that Lucio, they're playing to play into a playstyle that involves speed, killing absolutely everything, and Overwine in the meantime taking that high ground, using that hit scan to try and get damage from the side. So Overwine onto the high ground, Memecord in the meantime playing into the middle. We'll see which strat does what, and we'll see which one can actually get things done. Back off with the twin. Gets rid of Saito. First casualty. The Ash gonna fall on down immediately. Good execution here from Overwine, but Bucket gonna get a counter kill. And Memecord falling apart in terms of their formation. They lose the front line. They have to back on that. And Overwine impressing with a very, very quick and clean execution. Seems like the coaching of a certain someone really helping out Overwine in regards like this. The cleanest execution of the ball. Pushing on forward. Finding their targets. And that is Overwine with the first capture.
There, once they got the pick off from Saito and with that pin, they all rushed in and up the wire ended first fight.
Chapter right now though coming online, and here comes Overwine right now looking to get things through, looking to survive. Overwine right now holding close as much as possible, and in the meantime shots now keeping on coming as well. Conductor with that coalescence, topping up everyone else on the side of Overwine, and Keltrol keeping things up into the front line. Here we go though now with that coalescence. Tactical Vice are going to be into play as well. All of that action, all of the ultimates, and Bob going to be coming onto the point at the same time. Grab the surge there, keeping people together on Meepard's side, but you can always rely on Bob to get those kills. 2 frags on the board, make that 3. Saito taking those down with the help of the Butler, and Memecord gonna get the point back.
Right there. It's very like a very effective just to counter that grab, and yeah, basically that won the fight. But maybe some ults were overcommitted, but in the end, a cap is a cap.
A cap is a cap, and right now an EMP is going to be online here for Wotash. We'll see how this one is competitive for Overwine as they're getting in position. As the purple not going to go for the glow, so Wotash not going to go for the EMP as of yet. Looking a little awkward. It seems like they didn't want to really go for it as they got the pick up on the Akashi. And that is some really good management of ultimates. Never mind though, pops the EMP while caught into the Graviton. Feels like a little bit of a waster of Overwine, an opportunity missed on out, but at least they're getting the frag still here on University.
A very waste indeed. She could have EMP'd on the first one, like when the part where she just silenced Norberl's Reinhardt, right? She could have went for the EMP there, caught 5 people, and just rushed them in. But very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. That's what you can say about that one. A little questionable, honestly, but Memecord right now gonna make a play with the Shatter onto the point. Blackrock though rolling on down, and it's gonna be time for the Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battle. Keltrol gonna be falling on as well. Frags on the board here for the Reinhardts. And in the meantime, Akashi does have that duplicates, but Memecord still forced back yet again. Is this really such a slump here for Memecord? Struggling against Overwine right now, 87% and counting. It looks really tough for them to actually get to that objective.
Test this point, or else they will lose this first round. Let's see what they will do. And a really good grab here from Guinness, and a good pickoff there from to Zarya.
Keltrol, even a tactical advisor, but will get shot down by Akashi with those sticky bombs. Going for the brawl right now. Wotash gets in the face of adversity, and here comes the Sand Barrier as well, keeping the top up on in the first place. Shatter now is going to be available, and it seems like for Memecord, they're going to be hanging on back into the other side of University. Still though, that Sombra looking so pesky. Wotash with the hack, gonna get that shut down. Blackrock right now. Shatter is available, and here comes the Coalescence. Kundak getting the beam on, and Overwine. That is a big surprise to many. Strong showing here on University.
Strong showing here and University, like what you said. And that last fight, it was kind of sloppy on the first initial clash, but then Overwine kind of set it together, and their LOS just aligned and cleaned up everyone. Very good coordination on the last part of that fight right there, and Overwine surprising us indeed with that attack.
Yeah,
And also, they they might need to be more careful of the Rhine versus Rhine battle, but right now they won't be able to, or rather, they need to be more aware now that Meme Court switched to a dive composition for this round.
look at that. It's a dive with the Lucia break. Very, very interesting.
Lucia
I can see a
break.
lot of comfort picks right now here for the side of Memecord, but
Exactly.
Saito gonna lose on down immediately. Blackrock Guinness getting the overrun. Narbro right now hanging on back, looking to survive. And look at that. Super 2 trade so far. Akashi frang out behind. Evan with a boop, taking care of Guinness as well. And this is a Memecord turning the tables. This is a lot different from previous engages of Memecord on this dive. They have kept their dive tanks alive. Memecord hanging on back with the wins. Narbro and Akashi finding those frags. And that is victory for them to get the initial capture. Now the issue here for Memecord, they're running that Lucio and the break, so they need to stick together with the Inspire to actually work on out. Very interesting to run a dive with Brigitte in this day and age, but we'll see how this is gonna go with that low healing. Will they be able to keep themselves up into this fight?
That was unfortunate that the Reinhardt just pinned so far away, and that basically meant that for the Overwine side, they didn't have a main tank. That's why they lost that initial fight, in my opinion.
Look at that all with the shots, and there you go. Blackrock just gets chipped on down. Guinness gonna get DMAC'd as well, and Memecord has woken on up with this dive. It seems like that was a good wake-up call there on University. Their strat wasn't working, especially against the Sombra, and now they're gonna change things up with a push instead. Hako coming on to Sweep Fry, and we have known this guy to really be such a big bane playing that break in the first place. If I remember correctly, he reached his highest ever SR with the hero when it did come out, and well, he's such a master of that small shield. Akashi though forced to recall already back to the high ground. Wotash in the meantime gonna have that EMP online. And it's very interesting. Overwine is playing a Sombra against this Genji and a Tracer and is still struggling to find the formation. Here we go though with the boops, and Narbro making that one big. EMP in behind, self-destruct right now, but this is still all Memecord right here right now. That EMP a little too late there from Wotash, and Keltrol gonna get torn asunder. Memecord, no memes right now, all business with this dive, and they're executing with absolute perfection.
Having a more comfortable playstyle with this dive composition rather than using that Reinhardt Zarya, and being able to put Saito Akashi on the Genji Tracer respectively seems to be more effective.
Yeah, Saito happy on that Genji. Akashi doing work with the Tracer, and it's time for overtime right here right now. Wotash has swapped over to McCree Keltrol onto the Junkrat, but the Junkrat a very, very awkward pick in a scenario like this. Self-destruct though in the middle, Walken able to get on away. Memecord mobilizing, they know they can give up the point anyway, so it's gonna be all fine and dandy to move in that position. And very, very coordinated there from Memecord, hiding behind that wall, and now it's Blackrock gonna go down again. Soundfire from Nilavario trying to survive, but this is one fight that Miki cannot survive, and Akashi with no flags again, and Memecord gets one back in dominant fashion.
Very close matchup so far, and a good change again for Memecord, adjusting accordingly, and now they've kind of figured out what they want to do, and most likely they're going to do it again for this third round of Oasis.
Like that dive, man. That dive was so
Right.
good from Memecord. It really showed them a lot of strengths, and I feel like they've understood the dive a little more. Narborough barely died there. Like, compared to a few games before that we see them play that dive, the Winston isn't desperate those for kills, really juggling those abilities, really working as well as he can. And Akashi, just a final blow after final blow after final blow. But look at who's leading the charge in that damage department. It's Narborough doing God's work, basically on that Winston right now.
Just carrying the whole Memecord roster on his back, and they're basically abusing this Soldier pick because Soldier is really, really weak against dive, especially against a diva.
Yeah, so the 76
But let's
gonna be
see what they
struggling.
can do.
Oh, the
And a
boops!
boot from Sweet Fry, and that's basically it. That's a win already for Memecord. A very nice, clean play. And wait, did I just see Narble having ult
Yeah.
immediately on the
Yeah. He
wow,
popped
insane.
Primal, he got the
He got
Zaps onto
Primal.
basically 6 for
Yes.
such a constant time.
Oh my, that was really
Who is
amazing.
this Narvral
Who is this
Gamma and
normal guy?
where was he all this time? It
He
seems
was
like
sleeping all this time, exactly.
hibernation apparently, but he is a star shining right now here on Oasis. Anyway though, the action is still continuing. Rocket gonna be out in the front side over the few shurikens here and there. Akashi looking for an angle or two, but here comes the leap again. Narbo right now with proper shield placement or forcing Voltash back. Has to get on through, but this time might fall in the face of adversity. This is gonna be a little time though here for Memecord to find those frags. Blackrock gonna get rolled on over again. Akashi now with 2 frags. Saito taking care of Kelthrall, and it's gonna be a blade in hand here for Saito looking to execute this fight on the spot. And here for Memecord, they're using these ultimates to end things on a high note. And I like this. I like this. They're only using one ultimate at a
Yeah,
time at this
right.
rate.
Right. Saving their ult economy, having a really good what do you call this? Like ult usage, and yeah, they're basically set for like 2 more fights here.
Voltash though does have that Deadeye, and Overwine gonna be looking to get an angle. They do have them Kree, so if they do find out Akashi or Saito overextending, that is gonna be an instant punish right there. They also have that Luciana, and that Reaper will be happy to have a little bit of speed to destroy Narble in the first place. But Bucket is doing such a good job as well with that defense matrix, really blocking as much damage as possible in the first place. Narble though face stacking everything and anything in the way, and Guinness right now
Saito getting caught right here.
a tag down onto the Genji. But here comes the self-destruct into the fray. Deadeye being primed as well. Will it actually to kill? Seems like not the case. Rally though from Sweet Fry, making it very, very tanky. But in the end, no one is tanky in the front of 6. Overwine right now looking onto the point. And this is going to be a stall here now for Rocket. Memecord making sure they can get to 99 before this all ends. And that is 97. Not too bad whatsoever. Overwine though takes control back on Oasis.
Fight right there. Getting Saito getting picked was really I think not that good because he died from a Zarya, which but the whole team wasn't able to support him from that fight. But here now we see 5 ults from the Overwine squad, and let's see what they want to do here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Akashi getting one already. Beat Blade here from Memecord. They time it right as M and N side to coordinate to get one down, one done. And it's all about the cuts here and trying to really give chase against Lovario. Guinness in the meantime with that Graviton Surge. But Saito is fragging out. Kelthrall though, whipping out that Death Blossom. But he's only gonna be able to get one because Sweeper is just so pesky with those shield bashes in the first place. Memecord onto the point, onto formation. And they are looking to take this one home. Voltash right now trying to come on back into that Shisu room. Not gonna happen. Overtime not taking away, and Memecord will
And
take
Memecord
another map.
comeback.
We'll take that map. This is their second map win overall, but this is their first map win in this series.
Exactly. That was a really clean retake from Memecord side, and basically even against 5 ult Overwine, they were able to recapture the point in their favor, and just amazing plays, individual plays overall from Saito there, and of course Narberal, like, was he still the goal damage leader, or I think Saito took it, but yeah, Narberal like just setting the front line ablaze, getting aggro all in that front line, and that basically assured that everyone was able to push up, go forward, hit people, and yeah, capture point and set game match. First map going over to Memecord.
And well played there for Memecord, but well done as well to Overwine taking that first map by storm. It was very, very surprising, especially given that skill rank disadvantage. But congratulations there to Memecord taking that one down 2-1. So they should be feeling confident, looking to take a series in their name after all is said and done. But that might be jumping the gun because Overwine has proven that they can really bring the fight against Memecord, and they are looking to really bring the fight against every single team here in the New Wave Invitational. Sadly, only one of these 2 teams can take the match victory, and one of these 2 teams are going to be languishing basically on a 0-3 scenario. scenario. But hey, it's gonna be basically a round robin, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be coming our way very, very soon over the upcoming weeks, the upcoming days, into this month and the next. And you are gonna be expecting a lot of matches here from the New Wave Invitationals. It really feels like a season now, Yuki. It really feels like we are having our tempo, our rhythm, and our stride, getting constant games after constant game, having all these teams participating in the New Wave Invitational.
Right, exactly. And yeah, right again, as with that said, like Overwine needs to adjust a bit. Maybe they can swap out some of their supports to something like Brig, or just to counter that Genji if they're still having a hard time. Or, but if they're going to stick with this, maybe they need to be more aggressive since they have this, yeah, Reinhardt, Zarya. They might want to play a bit more closer, and since they have dive, right? So it doesn't matter where you're coming from because they'll just be able to jump on everyone everywhere. So might as well just go in, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Um,
really just looking for those punishments. We
yeah.
saw a glimpse of it as they got rid of the Genji early on. So I think that's something that they can build on into these future matches. But hey, it's time to see what's next on the list. And it's, you guessed it, King's Row. Map number 2, gonna be the classic right there. But Oasis taken by Memecord 2-1 in a hard-fought affair. Will it be the same case here on King's Row? Because if I remember correctly from my match history, Memecord has always put up a huge, huge fight on King's Row. They are always so strong on King's Row. They are always putting people to the test 2 rounds every single time. And that was against the likes of Washed Up Homies as well as Bomb and Nagi. So this might be not the best map pick here for the side of Overwine, but it has to be something they are comfortable with in the first place. What do you think, Yuki? What's up with King's Row?
X-Row is probably just because everyone is just so comfortable with it. It feels like it's one of the like more balanced map in Overwatch, and yeah, everyone's just comfortable with it. You know every nooks and cranny in the map. You know where everything is. It's all so simple. It's linear, and I think that's like one of the things that attracts that makes it more attractable to a lot of people. I
Exactly,
mean,
as
if
Movement did
people
it.
gets like if you get like a King's Row, you'd be happy, right? If you get one in your competitive game, as opposed to like getting something like Hanamura. What would you expect? Like, you kind of wanna Alta 4 right now. If you
But you're
that's the
comparing
feel.
apples to rotten
Yeah,
oranges. That's hybrid versus assault. Come on, bro.
right, right.
I
But
guess I
yeah,
could say
so
like if you get King's Row, then you like instead of like you say you get Numbani instead of King's Row. I
yeah,
guess
yeah, yeah, exactly. That right, right.
that'll
I
work.
think
That'll
that's
work.
yeah, yeah, that's a
That's a fair
better
comparison.
comparison.
But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. And now we are going to see King's Row. I just want to bring up a few things here and there on the tank side, thanks to Mr. Statman, Raybird, Narbral, and Wakid having a little bit of the advantage there on the eliminations. But apparently, Guinness actually on that Zarya, very, very potent as well with 16.71. Narbral only in 12.55, but with just that one game, his stats have to be increasing already tenfold. Wakid, though, such a good addition here to Memecord. They're able to round out the roster, having an off tank in, and overall, I feel like this is the game where Narbral can fix up his stats. He has 12.55 eliminations on average, as we said, and 58 deaths at the maximum. So maybe maybe this game will be the one where he can bring it back to the table, find his form, and find things out. As he leaps on in again, all by himself. Mark gets punished there with a fire grenade, and never mind, that's another death to add to his total.
Now, they're a bit more patient with the dive now and waiting for the Winston to jump in by himself, and they punished it for it. That's a better play right now instead of them rushing in, trying to get a pick from a Rhine charge. And yeah, this looks a bit cleaner. Good adjustment here from the side of Overwatch.
Yeah, and so far so good here for Overwine to get the first initiation on, and they are able to get that shutdown. This time though, they do take care of Narvel, but Saito Nakashi able to get the frag out in behind. Still, very, very risky plays here from Memecord, sacrificing that Winston for the greater good. But good thing on Saito Nakashi, they're able to mop up the floor into the back line, but Memecord will need to mop that one up and clean things up if they want to do this better into future and renditions of King's Row.
Right. And I think that kind of is their style, like wasting. Let Narborough take all the damage, take all the resources away from them, and just Saito, Akashi, and Saito clean up. So far, this is their game plan, and it's been working well.
Yeah, Narvel though has had enough of dying alone. He's gonna be moving over to that Orion, and Rocket gonna be on the Tsar. Another issue here with swapping from dive into the siege composition means that you are gonna be down on that ult charge, and BlackRock and Guinness will basically set the tempo for so long into this game. Beautiful Chapter right now, that's gonna be huge. Saito though gonna whip out the blade, and he gets a repair pack on to make him tankier. Now Saito easily cleaving up Otash as well as the Lovariel, and the DPS line again from Memecord able to shut that down when the tank line wasn't able to get things done. Seems like it's a very different story here, Yuki. It's King's Row now being carried by the DPS after they're on Oasis. It was being carried by that main tank.
Exactly, and I think they kind of realized that being able to use Narborough to give them some space and just taking advantage of it, it's working very well here for in Kings Row.
Narborough though gonna be into the front line again. Walkett in the meantime giving him some bubble play, but they need that time that one rights. You want Walkett to have some ult charge there, want some energy as well to make him a lot more potent. But right now, here comes the Riptire into the Grapton Surge, and goodbye Memecord.
Fire from Kelthrall.
Kelthrall gets it done, 5 kills on the board, and that is just an execution there. But Memecord is happy to pretty much die all at the same time except Mr. Saito, of course. But let's watch that one again. Just grab the surge into Riptire. Safe and simple, very easy to execute on, and highly unfortunate. Narval is looking for the angle to jet the shutdown with the far strike. Didn't see it in time, and that is going to be a defense holding here for Overwine yet again.
Good combinations of ults right there, and a huge block right here from BlackRock blocking that shatter.
But here comes the Nano Blade! Saito and Emma comboing it up, Mr. Yuki, and that is just 4 kills on the board immediately. I like this support line as well. They have started to play the Ana. They're not playing the Mercy right now, they're playing the BAP, which works well with Akashi on that Kree. And Memecord really synergizing in their team picks, allowing them to get the second points. Very quickly done, very effectively worked on, and well, Memecord adjusting from their previous 2 losses to such a good degree. I notice here, Yuki, that both Overwine and Memecord have really adjusted to such a big point. We're seeing many different hero picks from them right now that we didn't see on their previous matchups.
Exactly, and I guess it has something to do with the adjustments from DPSs. But now here we'll see how Overwine will deal with this, seeing that they all have almost 5 ults here.
Coalescence is gonna be Overwine's initiator. They break that eye field first. Kelthrall though with attack onto one, but Rocket with the counter shutdown. And the Grab the Surge is in hand, but that is not gonna be the bubble there to get in the way.
Shatter from BlackRock, cleaning up. Clean up crew from BlackRock and Nila Variel right there. And really well played. Both teams are really adjusting well against each other, don't you think so?
I think the note is BlackRock really has to have those pre-charges ready to go, because he's just getting these huge fault lines to just lock on and gets all the way to the other side. But Narborough has to do a little bit better job there. He started things off with a Winston, so he's going to be down in terms of that Shatter economy. This time though into the back line, able to get the step on through, and here comes the damage not being done. Akashi with a dead eye! And that's huge from Memecord. Narborough understanding the dynamic of the Reinhardt versus the Reinhardt, gets on past BlackRock and says, thank you very much, I'm gonna take the lead in this dance and come on through to the other side to get the stun into the back line.
Indeed, now they have a Nano to work with, but here comes Guinness with the grab. Let's see what Overwine can work with this.
Grabbing the surge right here, right now. Saito gonna be looking to keep things up. Kundak though resurrecting Kelthrall back into the fold. And I remember there was a little funny story I have with Kelthrall, but let's get into that one after this clash. Saito though with the frag onto BlackRock again. Icefall though from Wotas trying to slow things down. And as far as I know, the Mei is the Achilles heel of Memecord. They need to figure things out immediately before the blizzard gets to them. Frostbite and chills might be the one that they have to watch out on. But here comes an Nano Boost giving it to Narborough. He's just charging on in. He's literally hammering on away. Goes for the 5 strike right there, right then. Matrix into the fold as well, and BlackRock gonna go down. This is well resurged from Memecord. They're shutting down the Mercy as well, going for the resurrection. They stop Kundak in his tracks, and that is Memecord finishing up King's Row. That's a result we expect from them here on this map. But hey, they were able to figure things out, and we have seen different components of Memecord show up in so many better ways.
Right, and I like how they reacted to that grab. They knew what was going up. They had an idea that they were going, or Overone was going to use another Graviton into Riptide combo, and they sniped out the Junkrat immediately, and I think that kind of messed up Overwine's timing, and it slowed them down. Memecore was able to regroup and just clean up afterwards. A really good slow play right there from Memecore.
Yeah, it seems like Memecord has really gotten a little bit of, you know, things to work with. They've gotten a little bit more of know-how and knowledge into the game to understand situations, to understand timings, and when and where to be aggressive, where to be defensively, and where to look at before they leap. But it was a shaky starter from Narball, but he showed up on the Reinhardt at the last moment. Akashi inside the absolute MVPs into this one. But keep an eye out on Eminence Fry. They have whipped out the Ana and the Batiste, and they're not really forcing the Mercy anymore into all their compositions, which is very, very notable and very well done on their side. But Keltrol is doing a lot of damage here, and now 7.6k into this Reaper on his side right now, and they are going to be playing that May Reaper, a very, very standard composition into the meta. I remember I have a story with Keltrol. He was complaining to me after 2 matches. I never said his name right. I always thought it was Ketrol.
All right,
yeah, apparently it has an L. It has an L, and I've been practicing. I've been practicing it right here, right now, just like Overwine has been practicing overall. And
Very good wall here, cutting off both
huge,
sides,
but a bigger IPL. Look at
IPL.
that one from Fry. He's staying on the high ground. He understands he's gonna get the angle there, and Narbro able to turn it around. Good use of the Batiste, good use of the double hit scan. It's a shooting range here, and now apparently the Wild West has been brought to London because Memecord gets the shutdown with that first clash.
Really nice set of plays right there. Each they know what wind conditions are, being able to cut off both tanks there, but a really good reaction from Fry. Very nice positioning of Ifield, and Akashi just laying down bullets up above that high ground, and that basically sealed the first defense for Memecord.
250 on the clock though, and Overwine rotating onto the high ground. They realize that if they do force out those hit scan up on top, will have a better chance at this. But look at the rotation for Memecord, looking to go in behind. Everyone might lag behind though. The Ana needs to be protected, and the ice wall right now gonna be Bane.
Very good cancel right here.
That's huge. Fire grenade though will connect onto 2. We'll see if Memecord still has a chance. It looks like they're the attackers right now, and the Coalescence is gonna be pushing them back even more so. Saito though with the dynamite takes some value. Grab the surge in hand here for Walken. That's the ice wall getting in the way, and Walken trying to take his way onto the objective, sacrificing his life to basically touch that one, but it's just not gonna happen. They didn't go for the Graviton surge. It felt like they were hesitating, and many times of that fight they whip out the Amp Matrix, but it doesn't matter because Overwine takes the objective away from them, yoinking it, literally pulling the carpet out from under them.
I just want to take note that Overwine really did a good job there, being patient, not overextending. They had the point, so there's no point in rushing. Let them come into you because you have the advantage, you have the positional advantage, and that's exactly what they did. And very good job of keeping calm and taking advantage. Really good player there.
But here goes grabs the surge. Bucket finally let it out. Beautiful ice wall though. Shuts down Bob. I feel right now toss over to Narbrawl, and that's what Overwine needs to work on. They need to get rid of that Discus's split and B. Eventually though they do get rid of Narbrawl, but Memecord now having the advantage. Saito's Bob able to get rid of Blackrock. Another ice wall though from Wotash, really getting in the way of things. And the second point of King's Row, well, this May is gonna be very pesky on these tight streets.
Yes, exactly. Like just blocking off Akashi's high noon, and that's going to be very annoying indeed. But yeah, very good wall usage so far. They use that to back off and regroup faster since they lost their Rhine, and now they have another Grav Reaper, and let's see what they are going to do here.
Yeah, Graviton Surge as well as the Death Blossom gonna be big components, but the Shatter right now, Narbrawl find the advantage and gets the stun on the Zarya. It's a big one there, but eventually Guinness gets back up to put the Graviton Surge into play, and Keldron right now with Death Blossom perfectly placed, gets rid of 3. Overwine in CQC, having the advantage.
Right there.
Solid.
Solid game plan, a really clean team fight. They knew what they want to do, grab, be aggressive, and that's all you need to do to be able to top. And now Akashi switching over to Farah. He's going Timora mode over Overwine here.
Well, the issue here is
This
they are
isn't
gonna
a
do this on.
hero he's
This is very.
familiar with, right?
He does play. He can play Farah. The
Oh,
thing about
he
this though,
does play Farah.
the thing about this though, is very dangerous to do onto the third point. But based on the composition that Overwine is running, I think it's the best thing that they can really do in a scenario like this. Saito though putting that bomb into place again, and it's time for bombardments. It really is. Akashi showing on up, surprising everyone. Good realization there from Overwine. They are from Memecord rather. They are literally losing every single elongated fight on the ground because of that mate, because of that Reaper, because of that Lucia Moira. So instead, they whip out the Farah. There is no real way right now that Overwine can really deal with his composition in terms of Reaper, but in terms of the geometry of the map, that Reaper can shadow step up on top and really bring in the hurt to Akashi. So in play, Sam Baron out. Elvira trying to save the day. Blizzard gonna get tossed on out. And Memecord right now just allowing this Farah to get hit after hit after hit. Narbral is holding on to his shatter in behind. That is gonna be Guinness getting the punish. And that is an opening here for Overwine to actually get on through. But never mind, here comes the Rocket Barrage. Akashi gets to before he dies. And this is Memecord right now with advantage yet again.
Yeah, and speaking of advantage, just like saying nobody can counter me. I'm just gonna barrage right in front of you guys. I don't care if I die. We'll take this fight.
And you know, that rocket barrage, it makes you stinked up, but at the very least, you are gonna be a dynamite fuse that is lit already. Speaking of dynamite, though, Saito has been getting a lot of value with that dynamite to begin with 11k already on the damage department. But in the meantime, Keltral moves over to the Soldier 76 instead. A good way to hamper the Farah, but it's not as potent as other heroes on the hitscan roster. We'll see though if those Helix Rocks will actually connect in the first place. Tracking right now, trying to be on point. Here comes the push. Gin is gonna be going for that Garden Surge as well. And Narbo right now with the Shatter online, pushing on forward right here right now. It's the Sun, able to get so much vantage points, so much value as well. And you can always rely on Bob, Mr. Yuki. At least you always have a top 500 player. Dude, he's
Right.
it makes him 76, top 500. I think he's top 1. I think he's Crusher 99, guys. He has to be Crusher 99.
His aim is so phenomenal. I think he's even better than Harry Hooks or the Fran even. I think his aim is just amazing, guys.
I think he's even better than Tactical Visor, honestly. That's how good he is. That's how good
Ooh, and an
is.
unfortunate snipe from Normal right there, killing Keltra with that with that easy
Like,
fire
oh
strike.
goodness, that is so dangerous. The Baby Diva almost falling off the edge,
Right.
but I think Guinness would have preferred to fall off because that is just gonna be the Baby Diva unable to do anything. Beautiful character search there from Walkhead, and Akashi was looking for a barrage and realized, hey, everyone's dead. Not gonna pop the fireworks this one. 120
And
though on the
Walkhead.
clock.
Right,
Okay.
getting the last kill on the soldier here. Right, and Guinness just I think they could have just regrouped once the Diva mech was done. They could have just solved let's do next fight, but they committed. But they got one ult off, so
Coalesce is still
Wow.
into play on that, allowing Akashi to fall already. This is gonna look really dire for Memecord. They needed that far online. Shatter even gonna get the stagger onto Walkhead. And next on the list, perhaps Saito. He's looking to get that bomb. It's gonna be essential for them to really hold on to this one. But if this is gonna happen, and Memecord might be forced to try to figure something else out. Maybe a Wrecking Ball might help them out. Maybe something like the Winston as well.
Bob's almost
Narbral-
coming up here.
yeah, they're gonna stay on the Ryan Zarya. Saito brought back into the fold, and it's a Nano Barrage from Akashi as well as Emon. Gonna let it rip this round 2, and that is just gonna be an explosive finale. Memecord is looking to rely on 20 seconds left though. Might still be a chance here for Overwine, albeit barely. It is gonna try to get on away, getting booped around by the Farah, and oh no, the Diva has to really run on as quick as can be. Dire straits. Memecord right now holding steadfast. Wotash moving over to McCree. It's double hit scan here and now. Akashi is making it rain all the way. Gin is gonna get the back. Here comes Blackrock trying to get the charge on, but it's time for overtime. It's time to tick on down, and we'll see if it's gonna be enough because here comes Sam Barrier into the fray again. The blue hand side looking for this push, but Nilvara gonna fall alongside Blackrock, and Memecord right now really making this far up big work. Speed right with the Valkyrie as well. Frags on the board. Saito with the well-timed bomb, and the only one left has to be the Calgary Voltash. It's not gonna happen. Memecord again with a victory. Another close one though. Overwine is really putting them to the test.
Exactly, and it's not like it's a very one-sided fight. A lot of flashes have been going either side, to be honest. And yeah, this is Kelpral's big 5 kill. This is definitely going to whatever. If there's going to be even what do you call
The
that?
highlight reel. You know,
The highlight reel,
I
exactly.
gotta ask you that question. That's for sure. But
Right.
83% build participation there for Sweet Fry. 68 on Saito, but BlackRock doing a lot of protection. You can really see both sides having some well-deserved cards on both tables. But hey, Memecord now with the 2-0 advantage. Well played there to the Memecord Squadron. They're priming themselves to take their first match win if they could take one more map after the next two. But for Overwine, the only answer right now has to be that reverse sweep. We'll see if it's gonna happen, as we are gonna be looking to get into map number 3. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna be looking to get into our halftime break, get a little bit of a mid-match interview going on. So we'll be right back with Memecord and Overmind facing off. It's Memecord with the advantage 2-0. Can Overmind do it and go for the reverse sweep, or will Memecord finally take their first match win on the board? Stay tuned, stick around. This is the New Wave Invitationals. So welcome back, guys, and we are done with our halftime break, and we do have, of course, our favorite courtside reporter, our favorite caster, and our favorite team captain in to our on-call segment. It's Nilavarial, or Mika Fabula of Overwine. So, Mika, how you doing tonight?
You really had to squeeze in favorite after every thing. Oh
Of
my
course,
gosh.
you already know that's gonna happen. And yeah, how you doing tonight? How is your match going so far? Just a quick little FYI, guys. We were like, oh, we're gonna bring in Billy today for the casting, just so Overwatch can really prepare, so Mika can really get into with the rest of her team, prepare for this upcoming match. And so far, you guys have been impressing. Sure, you're down 0-2, but you have really made it close in many regards. So, how's your match going so far, Miss Mika?
Well, you know what? The credit I think really has to go to our coach, Fascinate. I think he's watching. I think he's out there. So, sessions with him, and
Maybe.
I have to say what he says. I mean, like the way he coaches, it really works. I mean, for a team that is at our skill level versus a team that's on Memecord skill level, he was able to coach us in a way that brought us up slowly. So while we are down, while we are down two, we still feel a lot better with our performance for the past two maps. Yes, especially that Kings Row, that first point in Kings Row, we could feel Fascinate's pride throughout the team, and that was like fueling us forward.
But
Um,
yeah, it's a very clean fight. Maybe like a few more adjustments, and you're going to take a map or two, in my opinion.
Oh,
yeah.
do you hear that? I'm
Wow,
crying.
mid
I'm
coach,
crying.
mid
So
segment.
meme cord better up their game.
Dude, what is this favoritism I hear on the desk? What is this? Coaching
it's
in the
it's
middle of the match
favoritism.
segment?
Yes,
My god! Oh,
exactly.
I see. Sure. Go, do it
Only
here.
here on New Wave.
Do it here then. Sure, be a real coach and do the mid-match adjustments right now on stream. Show us a little bit of your thought process, Mr. Fascinate.
That's unfair.
That is unfair.
That's but see, that's how good of a coach he is. That's
That's
how good
Exactly.
of a coach he
cheating.
is. Yeah,
It's
he
a
thinks about
cheating.
those.
Look at this. Look at this integrity I see on Mr. Fascinate. But in the meantime, well, let's talk about a few things on the Overmind side. So you do have a new member in, it's Wotas, and she's been lighting things up on that DPS. A bunch of swaps as well, I feel, in terms of roles, and you guys are doing really good. I see so many different heroes from you, especially like those Sombra plays and a very standard May Reaper coming on in. What's the story about that, and what's the story of the addition, and what's the story of those hero picks coming your way?
Well, so earlier last week, we realized that one of our main DPS, Dominici, has been having some problems with his internet, and we actually thought, oh my god, we are gonna get steamrolled even more than we already are for the league. But then we've actually been scrimming with Wotash for a while, and they've actually been the ones that were like, teaching us a thing or two about higher gameplay in terms of watch from the casual, platinum level beyond that. So when we realized that it would be difficult for Dominici to like participate in this next match, we actually asked Tash like, "Hey, would you be open to joining us?" Actually, and she said that she was down with it. So we were so happy with that because she has even more extensive than we do. Definitely bringing out Sombra and utility heroes. So when we practiced with Fascinate too, as you were coaching us, we felt really good about the new lineup and the new strategies that the league. Yes, thank you, Tash. I get that this is a hard carry. Oh, and no, and we also have Tash's friends as well, coaching and cheering us through this league. So it's so heartwarming that the titas and titas are little getting a little cheer squad.
And warms my heart indeed. And now you guys are gonna be going into a new map, and you guys are choosing basically maps that I feel like you are very familiar with. So what makes you guys choose a certain map? Is it because of your compositions? Is it because of what you guys know of the map, or is it something else entirely? Like, what's the plan as well with these coming maps? Of course, keeping it as low key as possible because we don't want to spoil anything for our next few matches.
there are some maps that we realize we can do, that we have a certain rhythm, and that we have a certain a very very familiar strategy with already. So we're leaning towards those more. And we know that there are certain maps that I think, like, our, for example, our hero is clearly at a disadvantage with. Um, Staying away from those, but definitely still including them in our practice and our usual scrims, so that they eventually don't get xed out and we can play whatever.
Yeah, that is such a good way to think about all these things. And well played there to Overwine so far, but you guys still need to make that comeback happen. So feel free to hop on in back. That was your courtside reporter, Lavariel, aka Mika Fabula of G Network, of the Nationals, of all the hosting that she's doing. And she can always bring you guys every form of entertainment along the way. Not only a caster, not only a producer, but also a team player, a captain as well. Someone you can really rely on. And well played there to Mika Pabla. There you go. There you go. That's my Mika segment of the match. That always has to happen every day, guys. Always has to happen. Oh, she left. She left while I was doing that. Wow. Yuki, why did she do this to me? Why you gotta be like this? Why you gotta be like this? Why?
She's more focused in winning, I guess.
Okay.
Understandable,
She didn't throw
understandable.
it back to me, so she gets some minus points this time for being a courtside reporter. She didn't do the throw. But hey, we are gonna be throwing it back to the game in just a bit, as we are confirming our next map, and it is going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar into the escort map side. So Gibraltar, gonna be very interesting. What do you think is gonna be the strategy here for the two teams coming into this one?
Yeah, I guess now they have an idea of how each other team plays, right? So, I think what's going to happen here is like uh, a lot of adjustments again. Now that Overwine has an idea that Memecord can either play the dive comp or the Reinhardt Ash kind of combo, they can have options to whatever hero or rather roster they want to get. Maybe they can opt for a different heroes this time, seeing that Hutash can has a bigger pool actually. Maybe we can see some Farah from Overwine, and or just going back to their roots, going back to that long range kind of style, and but yeah, I'm hoping, or rather, they can also try out different support lineups, such as Brig, taking their Brig as well.
Yeah,
So
man. There's a lot of things they can choose from, but hey, it's
right,
only going to be one
exactly.
map they can play into right now. It's Watch from Gibraltar, match point here and now for Memecord. If they take this one, then they will be the ones winning on out in this match. And let's get it on, let's get it done. Into Gibraltar we go. It's going to be very, very interesting because Overwine is looking to defend first. It's Memecord on the attack, on the prowl yet again. And just something to note right now in terms of those stats. You can, in terms of that support line, Emma is really above and beyond compared to Overwine. 11 average eliminations and 30 average damage compared to the 7 and 9 on Nilvar and Kettle respectively. But now it's Keltral on the DPS, and you can really see these role swaps helping out Overwine in so many ways. And I love the form that they have taken right now. I love that they are really trying to find things out, because on that side, on that note, Keltral was really so focused on healing so much. It was 7.6k for 10 minutes on that average healing compared to M1 7.2. So it really goes to show. Now, they do have a little bit of better mixing on that support with Lavariel and Kundak working together, and Keltra has been doing such good work on things like the Reaper, on things like the McCree, while Voltash is on gonna be the main right now for Overwine. Very interesting, it's the main McCree into the fold. They already want to deal with the potential flyer in the air, and Akashi needs to deal with this as quick as can be, or swap off to try and survive.
I like this slower pace from Overwine. They're waiting for the dive and just going in right here. Canceling that res is really good, and they can take more aggressive position here, where Utash is, but since they're opting for the high ground, it's going to be very hard for Memecord to push this through.
Yeah, the Kashi right now just keeping the rocket shots on. In the meantime, there we go with Kondak really fending him off. The McCree and the Ana together gonna be very, very difficult right here, right now for Memecord to keep that far alive. But Rocket has done some work. Goes into the underground, takes care of Voltash. Akashi even taking care of Kelton along the way. And Memecord still forcing out the far ends, working wonders for them. Barrage is already available. They're making the Winston happen as well. It's a dive composition here, and now without that Lucio, it's the Mercy and the Ana into the fold. And it's working out really, really well here for Memecord. They push on forward. They bust down the defense of Overwine, and eventually they were able to outpower and outmaneuver their opponents.
Right, and they have one more try here for the defense, but Akashi waiting for an opportunity to use his barrage, which is going to be very soon, I believe.
Yeah, Rocket Barrage is available, and here we go with Bucket going for the self-destruct. Sleeping Reinhardt's, and Akashi trying to go for a boop just to bring it into the blast radius. Now here we go with the nano boost. It's gonna go on to Narbaral, and Akashi might need a little more support into this one instead of giving it to Saito, instead of giving it to Akashi. And that's a hero blade here from Saito to try to whip it out. Self-destruct toss into the field. Sound barrier gonna be there, and a lot of weapons used here by Overmind out of desperation to try and survive. But they still will have the Shatter and the Deadeye. Good defense so far here for Overmind. They shut down Saito along the way. Blackrock right now gonna gonna get the fell onto 2, and Override at the last moment able to get the contest on.
Very good defense right there. They were able to save 2 ults. Keltral opting to not use his High Noon, even though he has the angle, but really good. They have this ult going to the next defense, and I think this will be very beneficial. But Utash getting picked off right there, and Narbo just he was slept, but someone woke him up.
And Narbo rampaging instead with that Primal Rage, trying to get into the front line. Akashi in the meantime with that Rocket Barrage available, and Keltral from the side gonna be able to get that Deadeye on, but it's just not enough. It has to go on in to try and contest, but Memecord has already overrun the opposition all throughout,
right.
And his first point has been taken. Watchpoint Gibraltar falling on over, and Memecord moving into the hangar instead.
Right, and both the supports got staggered right here, and this is going to be a longer regroup for Overwine. But talking about that last fight, they almost, I think they were able to almost defend it, I believe. But a lot of, again, Akashi still saving that barrage, really putting that pressure that, this far as barrage, we better play careful, and I think it's getting over on Overwine's head right now.
And Overwine needs to be very, very careful, because this is such a good place for Memecord to snowball their way to the third point. They already lost one. Keltral gonna fall on over, self-destruct into the field. Rocket gonna get a frag there, and Akashi holding onto the barrage is gonna use it to get on away instead with the thrusters. And Memecord, another systematic and automatic response to this one. The second point of Gibraltar is just so hard to hold when you're getting snowballed because of those entranceway. But this is a huge stagger potential here for Memecord, as Overwine does come back all the way on that other spawn. Here we go with the Dragon Blade. Here we go with the Nano Boost.
Nano Blade.
Yeah, so pro-10 here from Memecord. And they wiped out Overwine again to secure them this first corner.
Right. And Akashi still not using his barrage. That's gotta be like a mind games of whether is he even going to use a barrage? Is he going to save it until the 4th map? I don't know, guys.
I don't think he's just having these opportunities. He also doesn't feel safe because Emin isn't really giving the Nano Boost so far. It was once to Winston and once to the Genji. But when Akashi might feel like he's gonna swap, just let it rip, just go for it. It doesn't even matter. All you need to do is 1. And now he's playing far against double hit scan, which is pretty much a death wish. Unless you're 2 hit scan plus the Yana. That's just 3. That's basically 3 by this point if scoped in. And the Diva. So that's 4 targets to get the
DM, right.
It is so much. It is so much right now that Akashi is playing into. And he is looking like a fool right here, right now. But he still has that barrage. He wants to make it happen. And he's so afraid to use it because there's so much pressure being applied onto him. But he can't always be a hero, Mr. Akashi. It's Bucket instead, bringing it to the field. And honestly, Memecord is just able to win things out, not because of that Vara, but because of the antics of the Winston and the Diva. There we go, Narble and Rocket getting frags again. Akashi finally given the space to breathe. Let's with the Rocket Barrage. Gonna go for the shots right here, right now. And Team Memecord opening up a pathway.
And here comes the last defense opportunity for Overwine. Let's see what they can do with the bomb. And Shatter. Right here.
Bob gonna need to play. Saito with Nano Blade, and in the meantime, it's gonna be just all about the stall here for Keltrol. He's by the payload. He doesn't really need to do that though. Might have forgotten that Bob is technically a hero at now, but Blackrock is looking to be the hero instead. Gets to with that Shatter. Too late though for Overmind to get the contest on, and that is Memecord finishing that map up with a similar time bank compared to King's Row.
They almost had it in the bag, but Saito just cleaning up everyone with that blade. A really easy cleanup for him. Everyone was separated, no one was focusing him, and this just secured the cap for Memecord.
Yeah, and Memecord having so many targets with the Nano Boost. You can have that Nano Barrage, you have that Nano Blade, you have that Nano Winston, and Evan having just basic. It's like a kid in the candy shop having all the options in the world to enjoy. And Akashi really forcing out that Pharah all the way. But Memecord's dynamic with their dive really allowing them to basically protect that Pharah, honestly. Like, I feel like if that was just less momentum on Memecord's sides from the first to the second to basically the third, it would have been Akashi getting heavily punished because that was a diva, that was double hit scan, that was an Ana on the other side. There should be no way that the Pharah can shut things, can actually get any value, as those things will really shut it down in the first place. But unfortunately for Overwine, remember that spawn? As soon as they lose the point, but they have spawned together. Sure, they have the dynamic of spawning together, but not spawning there, not going for the forward spawn. That is very, very dangerous for them, and they lose everyone in rotation. So much space being given to Memecord out of a little bit of that coincidence, out of a little bit of their strength. And honestly, again, the momentum shifts in favor of Memecord onto the tank side. It's a push-pull. King's Row was the DPS game, and Oasis and Gibraltar are not the attack games. Yeah.
Again, yeah. And now we're seeing, this is the first time we're going to see a complete dive for both tanks in Overwine. I believe, like Winston Diva, they almost always like to use Reinhardt and Winston back before. Now they're using this, they're trying out different stuff. I like this.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting as they are playing into synergy right now. But here comes the drop on down. Memecord knows that they are gonna be playing that Ryan, so they are gonna be looking to play into the tunnel. And with the Mei on board, wow, they're even running the Mei Reaper. A very meta composition here for the side of Memecord. And they are gonna be looking to contest nothing but below. Ryan Zarya, Mei Reaper. It's all about making a kill zone and making it happen.
Right, and I like that Overwine is trying out different strats, but it's unfortunate that they took the fight like inside the car wash, where literally it's the best place to fight on the Memecord side, because they have the Mei to cut off with the wall, they have Reaper to clean up the tanks, and it's just a stronger position overall for Memecord side. But now they're giving more space. They're backing off. They're opting to defend in this corner position where the Ana can stay on this white room on their server side.
Yeah, Sleep Dart now connecting. Guinness gonna be out in front of Blackrock in the meantime, trying to hold the line over all of that. And Overmind trying to find an opportunity to get the jump on. Keep an eye on the Keltrol. He's going for the raid 4-1 in. He's very close to the Death Blossom, but the Sound Barrier is already online. Keltrol is waiting things out and really hampering on to Sweet Fry. Narburol right now in position and gets a shatter onto 3. Good Sleep Dart as well, courtesy of Evan, really saving the day there. And the only targets right now has to be Blackrock, as well as whoever's pushing that payload. Nilvario staying in behind. The Mortar now fading on away. And the chances and the time back of Overwine right now slipping in their grasp.
Only two more minutes for this attack. Now maybe they can try and go back to the Rhine, since I think this Winston, I think this is a new thing for them, and they're still adjusting. But I would like to see them go back to a more standard route. And I think since the enemy Memecord has a very generic team comp, they might have an easier time for it.
Self-destruct though coming online, and Guinness unable to get much done. Now I see here from the side of Overwine as Guinness does go down, as they are trying to play into the map with the first point with the dive, lets him take control of the high ground. But Twin Death Blossoms inside though is nano boosted, so he is gonna do that one better. Good coordination there from both sides, but Memecord is the one who's standing tall. But as I was trying to say, Mr. Yuki, it really is Overwine trying to force the dive, but it seems like they're not as comfortable in it, honestly. They're not as potent as Memecord was, and they have the right idea sure on the map. They take the high ground, and they are looking to do something with it, but at the same time, we're not seeing any punishment, no things like the Widowmaker, no things like the Sombra. It really is just a Reaper frenzy from both sides, and you don't really need the high ground for that. Grant starts though into the fray, big nade there from Emin, and a wipeout courtesy of Bucket. Memecord looking so strong, and honestly, the additions of Bucket and Akashi really helping them out in the long run.
Right, and now this is going to be the last fight, and even though this is like they use a lot of ults, it's still on over Memecord side that they have the ult advantage, like ult numbers. They really use their ult economy well, and they're reaping the benefits out of it. And
Oh my god.
this initiate a huge shield ban from Eman, and this is just Memecord.
They have done it. They have secured it, Mr. Yuki. They have done the deed, and they have taken their first match win here in the New Wave Invitationals. Congratulations to Memecord taking the 3-0 lead. We will still have another map, but that was such a good shadow there from Narbrel. Again, noticing the situation.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take the freebie. There you go. Where's the Reinhardt? Not there. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take that one. And speaking of that one, it's Narbrel with the Primal Rage on the attack. Victory goes over to Memecord. With the advantage they do have, sure, in skill level, it was to be expected, but luckily for them, they have been able to figure things out along the way. This time, Overwine not able to really get much done. Trying to play out the dive, not really working out for them, but they have the good ideas, they have the right attitude to go about things. It's a learning experience that we can hope to see them do better in the future.
And yeah, I mean, they can still take one map off. This isn't really like, they got the win, the set win here, but they can still use the last, for isn't there like a map standing, right? For if ever we're going to
Yeah,
have the
we
playoffs.
have a map standing and a match record.
Yeah.
So map score is very important because we use it for tiebreakers and the like. So it's also something to take note in many regards. But that was a 3-0 win there for Memecord. And what do you think was really the things that Memecord did right to secure Watchpoint Gibraltar in such a good degree?
They took advantage of the controlled chaos of the dive right there. Even though Akashi is playing Farah against a triple, or sorry, like yeah, triple hit scan with the diva. Um, he's not really having a hard time exactly because Norberol is just doing a great job of annoying the other hit scan DPS and as well as Wicked. They're controlling the pace aggressively, and this is enabling Akashi to just go in forward, deal damage, they're and also they're cutting off the regroup timing of Overwine very well, and that like for example, like on the second point, right? They got the second point very easily, like no contest whatsoever because everyone was just dying. No one was. They were cutting off the regroup really well, and yeah, it's very. It's just a very good execution overall for the meme cord side.
Yeah, and that is exactly what I expected there from Memecord in terms of this performance there on the third map. No blows against Overwine, but Memecord, this is the performance we have been expecting from them on that third map. Something that dominant. Oasis and King's Row were honestly moral victories inside of Overwine because they really took Memecord to the wire. And we have expected so many great things from Memecord from the very start of the Invitationals.
Right.
Finally, they have shown that they can do it. Finally, they have shown at least a little bit of that glimpse, a little polish on their mess right now. But they need to prove it still. Winning on Hanamura is the next best step, and winning out the rest of their matches in the Invitationals are probably gonna be the way to really bring it back into the fold. Because Overmind has shown a few weaknesses still of a Memecord who are really trying to get things done. But, well, a win is a win, I guess. 3-0
Right.
right now. And that was the scoreline of Gibraltar, and that was the win that they can be proud of. But anyway, Mr.
Exactly.
Yuki, we are gonna go into Hanamura next. It is gonna be our fourth map. Confirmation is there, as well as our results so far. 2-1 on Oasis, 3-2 on Kings Row, and a 3-0 on Watchpoint Gibraltar. Both sides are feeling ready and feeling frisky to get into this one. So let's get straight into the action. So on Hanamura, do you expect May or do you expect Bastion?
I am going to expect a May. I feel like Memecord can do some experimentations here since they already got the map, right? Like
The match. Yeah.
they can opt to like try and go for a Bastion comp, maybe even Symmetra, since I'm pretty sure they are capable of doing that composition as well as Bastion defense. I think that they have knowledge of how to do it, and yeah, it's just going to be how will the previous games of Overwine, how will they add it to their experience, right? Since they were they were able to fight against a Bastion comp and a Symmetric comp. Will they be able to learn from their mistakes back then?
Yeah, and usually you
Or-
see those comps in 2CP. And
Right,
yes, that's
especially in Hanamura, since Symmetra attack is very strong here.
But we'll see what's going to be planned here from Memecord. It's
Right.
going to be the Lucio and the Brig again. But are they going to really run Ryan Zarya with a divey comp in
Divey sup-
behind?
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
this is looking interesting. They need more sustain if they are going to play that Ryan Zarya. But
Yeah,
hey, they're going to
so-
go at it.
Yeah. So we see some of an experimentation thing going on for Memecore side.
I mean, this has been shown sometimes in the tier 1 scene and the tier 2 scene. Lucio Brig is a very risk-it-all strategy. If you are unable to get Inspire at the very start of the fight, that will happen. Look how
Right,
quickly
yeah,
Memecord
exactly.
dies. Any kind of poke,
If-
any kind of sustained damage, like the Junkrat, that is not gonna fly whatsoever. And
Yeah, that's
and
right. And
they're
now we
gonna
see
play-
Akashi just going
look
over.
at that. Look at this.
It's not
Lucio
gonna work.
Mercy. Oh no.
Lucio
Okay,
Mercy.
no Lucio Mercy. I was about to flip my head. That is like, what's the only thing worse than Lucio Brig has to be Lucio Mercy. And they almost did it, but they swapped over to the Ana instead. Now this composition is very oriented on getting ultimates between the Pharah and the Genji again. It really is the win condition relying on getting that Q on. So honestly, their peak performance is basically on timers and only in small intervals. There is gonna be the poke, sure, but it really isn't gonna be any initiation. They're running Ranzire with this. There's no Winston, there's no Diva to find some pokes. And it will be a slow game here from Memecord. It seems like that's gonna be the case.
Right, and Overwine is like not overly aggressive. Good grab, getting a
Huge grab.
5 and a
Shatter even.
They committed two CCs right there, securing that fight, and just not. They really want to get this map, and that Guinness and BlackRock really want to dominate. And we're seeing it right here. But next fight, Narborough is going to have his shatter up. Let's see what Memecord is going to do in this next.
It's gonna be pretty
fight.
important to see what this is gonna unfold into the Ryan versus Ryan battle. But Narborough has really been hampered by those Junkrat grenades. Shatter right now, catching only Nilovariel and trying to walk on in, but Keltrol is just enjoying its time down in the sun, down in the land of the rising sun. Akashi though does take care of one. Here comes the Deadeye Wotash with the kill, but Akashi from the grave throws that rocket just in time. Eventually, though, kills going in the favor of Overwine. They are able to survive and sustain with 4. And the Lavariel will play taxi, bring Wotash in back into the fold. Overall, though, this is all Overwine right now. They are looking really solid
Exactly.
on this defense.
You can feel that they really practice this map. They're really confident in Hanamura, and a really clutch high noon right there from Wotash, getting killing the Mercy, the resing Mercy, and the Pharah before she gets killed. So a really nice clutch play right there.
Yeah, and here we go again. Ultimates are the online, and this is what we were talking about. This is the time for Memecord to actually win. They take care of Keltrol first and foremost. The Riptar are gonna get dragged down as well, but they only get basically 2 with that Genji, and Akashi might need to commit the Rocket Barrage. Never mind, he dies already. And this is the problem with the composition of Memecord right now. They're so reliant on ultimates. They're so reliant on surviving with those check marks, and they have to get the frag some way, somehow, on all other times. Eventually, though, it is gonna be the overrun of Overwine. There are times that Memecord is just able to outmaneuver their opponent through mechanical skill, but overall, that was Overwine's that was just Overwine holding on with such a good defense, even the Junkrat of all things into this one. Keldro right now basically resetting himself, coming on back to the spawn with the extra timer added. And there you go. Go on to the Junkrat still though for the point.
Right, and as you've said, it was still a really good defense, even with the Junkrat against the Pharah. So, but yeah, going into the second point, we see Akashi here keeping his barrage. Will let's see how they'll use this ulti.
Yeah, Rocket Barrage available. Akashi, he has been very scared of unleashing the Rocket Barrage, honestly. It seems like he's quite afraid of dying, but Afara has to be a martyr sometimes to really get things done. Eventually, though, again, Memecord just able to outmaneuver their opponent. They find a way to get rid of basically Keldrol and Oasis and their damage. And overall, Memecord right now, 2 ticks taken. Can they get rid of the Reinhardt as well? Here they comes with the rest of the reinforcement. Standard boost is going to be there. Graviton surge into the field. Finally, the Rocket Barrage comes as the Coalescence is enabled, and the Ice Wall gonna be in the way. Keldrol trying to survive alongside Guinness, but seems like it's one stat that they cannot handle. That's Azaria gonna fall on over, and that is gonna be that 2-point capture. Overwine though, really solid at that first point, but got it steamrolled onto the second.
On the second point, I think they just got caught like really. They kind of was. Everyone was everywhere, right? So they didn't have a proper defense set up, and the fact that the people that were staying on the high ground fell on the bottom side, like under the small health pack, and that really did not help them defend properly into the aggressive push in the middle for Memecord. And I think yeah, like some misposition kind of happened for Overwine that cost them that round. So I expect them to see to like notice some of the mistakes they did and adjust from there.
It's really just all about adjustments here and now. I feel like no matter what, Overwine can use this match as a reference to all their improvements so far and where they need to work on. This is the first step here for Overwine, honestly, and I feel like the longer they go into the Invitationals, the better they're gonna be. But Memecord need to figure things out pronto. That was a very shaky offense from them, really relying on too many gimmicks, too many things all at once. And Emon can't heal everyone, and Emon cannot nano boost everyone. Those are two big things right now that they just have to basically deal with in the first place. Memecord though still staying on, gonna have that shield online. That means some side are gonna be dropping on down to try and make it out. I actually forgot if the echo thing is done already or not. Maybe it still has in the comments. Sorry about that. If
Oh,
that
good
is a thing.
pickoff
But
from
oh, the
Keldrol.
pickoff! Keldrol! Goodbye to Sweet Fry. Seems like Saito not only have the sightlines there, but Seas will fall. Overwine, easy push in to point A. That is just so effectively done here for Overwine, and I like this composition a lot better for the side of Overwine. They playing the Pharah and McCree. The McCree isn't needy with the Deadeye, that's for sure, while the Pharah would like all the pockets in the world. It's all about comfort here now for Overwine as well, playing that Mercy and the Moira, and they just get to push straight to the objective.
Swiftfry didn't expect that to the wreck. I guess that was to the wreck or something like that. He wasn't able to react, and he didn't put down his eye field soon, like too fast, and
Too
it's a
furious.
snowball from there.
Yeah, and that is just the Pharah getting a free pick there. Now Memecord will be going to that high ground, making sure that they will have the coverage, and they are going to be utilizing double hit scan into this one. Keldrol though just pelleting from the side, but he knows he can fly on up or he will be a sitting duck, that's for sure. Akashi in the middle though. Saito right now still keeping on with the shots, throwing the dynamite already, trying to get some value here and there. And in the meantime, it's Bucket playing the Diva with Narbrel on the Reinhardt. Good protection though with the defense matrix as well as that Ryan shield. But here comes the eye field. Free Fire forced to use it already pretty early. After the splash right there from Wotash, Narbrel gonna get on the board, double pin into play. And Overwine right now really trying to fight for this high ground, but it's Narbrel standing tall and strong, gets the nano boost, and it should be enough for Memecord to hold yet again.
I like the pacing there from the from Overwine squad, but unfortunately Akashi was able to just keep the Pharah on bay, positioned himself very in a way that the Pharah couldn't just go in front of the tank lines and keep him busy. With the like, you can't just ignore the McCree, right? Even let's say even if he has like 30% accuracy, you're almost like, if you're just going to avoid or ignore him, you're gonna die. So, and you're gonna be pressured by your HP just going lower and lower from his folks. And yeah, that's kind of like what happened. They had, I think they really did well on that like the frontline battle. But yeah, Akashi just keeping the Pharah on bay.
It's all about Akashi right now, getting some really potent hits and flicks from the middle. He's in need for protection, and that's what look at this floor. Can fly on around, but doesn't really chase after the Pharah in time. Instead, gonna go for the Mercy on the other side. And Wotash with the Deadeye gets the lock on onto two supports, done and dusted already. And this is Overwine's fight to win, but it's gonna be the bulkiness of Bob trying to get in position, but he falls on that. Big mistake there from sight though, and Bob is not ready whatsoever. I feel no set already. Akashi gonna be staying on the high ground, and it seems like Memecord, they forget.
Niner.
They forget
Niner.
They forget the touch.
Oh my god. I think they're going to get some spanking after from a certain someone.
From who?
From who? I wonder.
No, I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, bro. What are you talking about? Oops, I pressed the transition delay. And they'll
But,
even need
yeah.
the transition. But yeah. Okay, so the issue there was Memecord. They were afraid. They had the Batiste, they had the McCree, and I think they had one more. I think they had the Ana on the corner right.
Yeah,
They thought that Bob was on point.
Yeah.
But apparently it was
like
Saito on the Ash instead. Because he fucked up. He messed up. He dropped that Bob down below and he had to basically commit himself. And as soon as he died, they were like, oh, that's not Bob. Oh,
No one's on point.
No one's on point. And Narval tried to get the charge on, but he came from spawn, and that was that. That
Right.
was that.
And actually that angle was really good for the window for what do you call this, like the Baptiste. It's
Yeah.
you can ever see everyone, and that window is going to be very deadly if only someone was on point. But yeah, they took a huge C9er there. And this is Overwine's chance to get one map off.
But
I
hey,
believe.
Memecord is gonna whip something else out. Again, they play that Pharah Genji, which I feel like is really a composition they shouldn't run, especially in a second round situation with time. But they are gonna be playing aggressive dive instead, so it makes a little more sense because there is gonna be that potency. And look at that walk in with the follow driver, immediately allowing Narble to get the jump on the Genji. Gonna be able to go for the case on the Kundak, and that is gonna be a takedown there. Saito as well as Wakan work together, but Keldro looking nigh unstoppable so far. Needs a top up. Never mind. Will get stopped by Emhan and a Blitzkrieg onslaught again.
Boof from Wicked, just stealing that fight.
No,
right
the
there.
fight is not over yet though, because they lose
Oh
Emhan.
wait,
The fight is not
I
over
thought the
yet.
fight is over, but
No,
BlackRock and Guinness showing up big time
The
for
thing though is
Overwine.
BlackRock is needing a heal very desperately.
Exactly.
100 HP. If he gets Brett on, never mind. Here comes Kundak.
Okay.
I was gonna say, as soon as the
Kundak.
walk-in record comes in,
Exactly.
just runs over to Reinhardt's like, beep beep, you're dead.
Yeah,
But
a
here
good
we go.
dive from Memecord, but an even better defense right here.
And I
for
feel like it
Overwine.
really is that issue of potency. They're playing Pharah Genji again, and again, they're relying on ultimates that don't exist as of yet. Akashi and Saito are pretty good on those heroes, but they're not ultra good that they can get the ultimate a minute on in. If they want to run a composition like this, they have to play in that certain way, and they have to play in such high standards that I feel like they are not yet there on New Wave Invitationals. Guys, remember, it's only Diamond average SR for the team overall. There might be a master player here or there, but there is no one really at the top 500 level in the PH League. So it is all about enhancing and fostering new talents on board and trying to get them to get better and better. But in a situation like this, Memecord is trying to put themselves in a standard that they are not attaining as of yet. 10 seconds left though, and we'll see if they can finally get things done, because they are close to those ultimates. This is the time that they can get things done. 2 minutes is not bad whatsoever to get those check marks, and here comes the Genji as well as the Pharah, but still not ready whatsoever with their arsenal. Guinness shutting them down, and such a big bait. Saito with the blade, able to avoid the Grafton Surge, takes care of one, but that's all she wrote here. And now Memecord way too risky with that composition, and that is not gonna fly in a scenario like this. In an even scenario, Yuki, you still should want to play the Pharah and the Genji, even if you're top 500 on both, because you should be playing people at your level, and you will get punished the same way Overwine has punished Memecord. The lack of lethality, the lack of just getting kills with your normal shots, really hurting them in the end.
But like this is going to be I don't think people just noticed this, but i I believe Overwine did a very good job on keeping everyone like locked on line of sight, like on that
Yes.
like defense. When Overwine sorry, Memecord dove on them on that second push, everyone was waiting on this like on the choke point, like from the going over the second point. If you can see, like I'm not sure if your camera is panning over towards that, but everyone was waiting, like everyone was really patient, just keeping having Akashi's Farah pushing way too aggressively, keeping her Hutash's crosshairs on everyone, and like it was a really good position. I hope like I can control the webcam, or we can have like an analysis part.
Just tell me where it
Analysis
is
thing.
in the map. Just tell me where it is in the
It's
map.
hard. There's no call outs. It's not like
Okay, okay,
Valorant
okay.
where I
Listen,
can
listen,
kill
listen,
window,
listen,
bro.
listen.
But
Okay,
yeah,
well,
that's Symmetra going like.
okay,
Oh
okay,
my
okay,
God,
okay,
dude.
okay, okay. Relax, relax. We can talk about it later after the match. But I get your points. But right now, this might be the point already taken that the Symmetra strategy works, so we have to focus on that. Teleporter gonna be big here for Rotash. Overwine is trying to play it cheeky, and it's gonna look really bad here for Emman because he's gonna be dealing with all of this. Now he goes for the sleep dart first. That's a little bit of a mistake there. Could have gone to Nate instead and really punished that teleport. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. Akashi bragging on that, but it's all about Overwine right now, setting up on the objective. Shots are abound, and Overwine is looking to take a map off of Memecord. Will they be able to do it? Akashi going for a last stand, and yes, it is a victory here for Overwine.
map
It's a first
win.
match win for Memecord, but it's the first map win for Overwine. They have done it against such a strong competitor. Very proud of the Overwine squad taking this last map by storm.
Okay, now I'm calmed down. Okay, so now we can talk about
No,
what
no, no,
happened.
no. We talk about the play of the game.
Okay,
Where
alright,
oh, it's Moira. Look
Oh,
at that
wait, it's
skill.
Moira.
I love
Look at
Moira play of the game. My favorites. My
But
favorite.
yeah,
Go
anyway,
back to your point.
they're using no. Let's just talk about their attack first. So they used Symmetra, the hero that made them lose the second match. Right? Was that second? I believe that's second, because their first match was against Waminagi, I believe.
Which
Is that
one?
correct?
Memecord?
Like no, sorry, Overwine.
Overwine
Overwine's
took
first
on
match.
who was that? Wasn't like they took on Overbex once, and they also took on.
Ah,
Let me check
no.
the schedule real quick.
Okay.
Just
So,
answer.
but anyway, they
was
lost
Overwatch.
heavily, right? Watch. Okay, but they
Overwatch
lost heavily against a Symmetra, and now
and
they're
Overbex.
opting for a Symmetra pick that won them the map. And I really like the addition of Hutash, because this player, she I think she enabled Overwine to have a bigger roster pool, because she can play so far she can play May, she can play that McCree, she can play that Symmetra. So there's a lot of options here for Overwine going in to this to the next matches against other teams. And yeah, their defense overall is very, very, very good. I like how they stick together against a Farah. They wanted to make the Farah push in a bit more aggressively, and that enabled like people to just shoot down the Farah and pressure her, so she couldn't just freely barrage people from above. And I think overall, even though Memecord won like 3 maps overall, I think this series really showed what Overwine could achieve, like going over next matches.
Yeah, and it really is such a learning experience, and they have learned on the ground. They have learned
Exactly.
while they were playing, and Hanamura was such a big turning point for them. Punishing Memecord for running a very, very greedy composition,
Right,
and
right,
their
exactly.
movements, as you were trying to say, how they're talking about, well, looking to steal the camera away from me, just how their rotation was. They always had sight lines, making sure that at the very least that the Fara couldn't push in properly and get the barrage. And we have seen Akashi be afraid to go for the barrage on Gibraltar, and it really was, it was the turning point that Overwine was able to capitalize on here on Hanamura instead. Even though the aggressive dive that worked out really, really well for Memecord at the very start, their DPS just couldn't get the kills at the tail end of the fight, and they were able to come together. They got to pick off on to the Ana, which was absolutely huge because that was the only thing enabling the rest of the aggressive dive to work. And that was just basically the show on the attack of Memecord. On the defense for Memecord, they let the Symmetra pass. They didn't go for the bio grenade, which is could have been a more rewarding play. But the bigger issue really was the fact that their attack didn't unfold. Sure, you can get surprised by a symmetric play from time to time. It happens, and you were beaten back to the punch. But it really was a shaky foundation there for Memecord and Hanamura, which was the complete polar opposite of them on Gibraltar. So again, still Memecord, they're not there yet from what we expect from them. They're not there yet whatsoever. They were really put to the test here against Overwine, especially on Oasis and King's Row. And we saw a glimpse on Gibraltar, and we saw the other side of the coin there, Hanamura. Well played to Overwine, really bridging the gap to such a good degree. What well done coaching, that's for sure. On the side of Overwine, I can see the dedication of the coach, that's for sure.
But to be
Who
honest,
Mhm.
it's not all the coaches. Like, I think you need to give credit to the players as well, because it's not like the coach can turn a team like into a top 500 overnight, right? It also, like, even if there's like good coaching, you need to have players that can really understand and like willing to adjust their play styles, and learn, actually, like listen and learn from the experiences, the coaching sessions, the VOD reviews and stuff. So, like, again, props to the players for actually like trying to be better. So yeah, like huge props to them. Really, really proud of them.
Yeah, and I've heard from Overwine, well, they have one of the best work ethics in the league, so well played to them, getting their first map. Well, a lot of firsts here. It is Memecord taking their first match win, and they will actually have their first interview in the post-game segment, and we will be getting into that in just a bit. But before we go on our break to set things up, here go with our match results. Memecord taking Oasis, Kings Row, and Watchpoint Gibraltar, respectively, but Hanamura, very well played, very well done, and a victory there for Overwine to take their first map point. This has been Memecord versus Overwine, and it has been an amazing time. We'll be right back though to talk to Mr. Wucked of Memecord about what went on, and as well as how the match unfolded. Stay around, stay tuned. This is the New Wave Invitationals. So welcome back, guys, and welcome to our post-game segment. And here we are with Mr. Waked of Memecord. Say hi, Waked. What's going on for you today?
Hello, everything is going great sobra. It, nakita niyo naman yung score, a win is a win. Sobrang huge moral boost yon sa aming Shanghai Dragons. Actually, Dallas Fuel pala.
Let's feel kayo,
So,
guys. You can't be Shanghai
luckily,
anymore. You can't be Shanghai. You won the match.
not
You can't
not
be Shanghai.
040.
Yes, sir. But congratulations to Memecord. Well, the thing about you, Wak, is you were pretty much a late addition to the Memecord roster. And
Yeah.
what do you think was the reason you got called into the roster? Like, what role were you designated in? Like, what was your relation to the team? How did it unfold for you to be brought into Memecord in the first place?
Well, kasi pretty much I'm a flex player kasi I play all roles. Pero kung magpe-play talaga ako sa isang team, I would choose off tank talaga. And luckily, Mr. Somi, a close friend of mine, I think naghahanap sila ng off tank. So ayun, kinuha ko yung opportunity and I tried to prove to them na I'm a worthy player on the team.
Yeah, and you really have shown up. I know from I've been playing with you for quite a lot, and you stream from that time too, and especially play with your sister. But the thing about it is, you usually are on the DPS role. So what is this you being on off tank right now? Like, what's up with that?
So, I used to be main tank talaga yung role ko. Then, one time, I got a better computer. So, yung mechanics ko nag-improve, as in nag-improve. So, yung off-tank role kasi, more on, medyo included kasi yung mechanics doon. Like, let's say, Zarya Diva, ganun. May aim na kailangan, may tracking na kailangan, roadhog. So, and hindi rin ako natural shot caller. So, main tank is not the role for me. Ayun. So, ayun. I'm happy with this role.
Yeah, and you're doing such a good job, and you also bring out that
Thank you.
flexibility that since Narbrawl doesn't play Wrecking Ball, we saw a little bit of that, and I think that's something you guys can also build on in the future. So you round up the hero pool basically, especially that off tank role, something that Memecord desperately needs in many regards. And there you go, you got your first match win. So how did it feel to actually get the first 3 maps underway, and how did it feel to actually get that one done with a confirmed match victory?
Yung first win, huge boost na sa amin yun. Parang dire-diretso ng momentum, dire-diretso na sila ng shot call, yung mga call sa picks. In between matches, si Mr. Somi nagre-recommend ng mga team compositions, ganon. So, parang di naman steamroll, pero yung momentum nandun. So, once we got the first win, dire-diretso na, nagsisynergize na unti-unti. Especially without our two GM players. Ayun, so we tried to prove to this invitational tournament na we can win without these two people. So ayun, we're very happy about that.
Yeah, and you guys basically, I like all the additions. So you were added. We've seen the debut of Akashi. We've seen Sweet Fry move over to a support role again to feel comfortable. And you guys got the win without your basically your heavy hitters in Kalam and Somi, and this is very well done. I do want to ask though a few things. Like, I'm seeing a lot of different changes in terms of how you guys are playing, and how did that really unfold? What usually is the call for, like, when to push back, when to pull back, when to push forward, and all that? Like, when you guys find the red light, green light, and when you guys basically stop and go into those fights, what is usually the call coming into your comps?
For the hero changes, more on brainstorming kung ano yung better heroes. Like, personally, hindi ako nagko-contribute masyado doon. Like, they went double hit scan on their own. They decided that on their own. For the dives, ganon, Mr. Narberal's job and mine. So, call out targets, ganon. Although hindi minsan makalat, minsan iba-iba yung targets. I think it's still a huge improvement din sa team namin.
Yeah, and I feel like you guys have really improved, especially showing that first 3 maps on their way It was a little tough though on Hanamura, a very suboptimal comp, hurting your chances to go for the sweep. But hey, it is what it is, and it happens. Do you guys feel do you feel excited for these next maps, for these next matches? And what's gonna be the game plan for Memecord in the future?
Yes, I'm very excited. Yun nga, huge moral boost. So, yung next matches, mas seryoso. Meme Cord yung name, pero not meme games anymore for us. So, uh, ayun, we will try to correct our mistakes, lalo na sa last map. Daming mistakes namin doon. And personally din ako, uh, so ayun, improve na improve. Unti-unti nagsisynergize as a team kasi individually we are very skilled players, but as a team, uh, ayun, we are still working on that, and I'm very glad ulit na we worked on that for a bit.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of the Meme Court boys. They finally be able to get a little bit of their form in. They really are the Dallas Fuel of this league, no, guys. They really are. They can be really great, but I think the only thing holding them back are themselves. But eventually, they'll figure things out. And hey, they still have time here in New Wave Invitationals. How about you, Fascinate? You got any questions here for Mr. Walken so far?
Not exactly a question, but while we were casting, someone gave an info as to why Akashi wasn't using Assault. So can I ask you, like, do you have any idea as to why Akashi won't use Assault? Like, he's been saving like his ult for until the last moment. So is that like a team thing, or is it like something, I don't know what's
For
going on
what
there?
hero ba?
The Farah,
On
sorry.
fire round.
The Farah. What map kasi?
On Gibraltar and Hanamura. Oh wait, is that
Oh.
right? I think it's also in Hanamura. Yeah.
No, he played basically his barrages never happened on Gibraltar and Hanamura.
Yeah.
On
Basically.
Oasis it was fine, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. On Kings Row is fine. But it's like on the last two, it really took him forever to hit the queue, that's for
Right.
sure.
I'm not actually sure kung bakit. From my perspective, medyo di ko siya napansin. Pero pretty sure there is a reason naman na sinave. May time na sinisave talaga, like sa Gibraltar as May pang last second. Ayun, so
So
ayun.
it's an individual thing. I thought it was a like a
Yeah.
Yeah, it
team.
was a
Ano.
call. It was a
It
call.
was a call. Okay. Kasi
Okay.
someone PM'd me. He unbinded this queue. Okay.
Ooh, what is this
Alright.
spice?
What is?
Who?
I
What is
don't
this
know.
spice? What
All
is
right, but
this
anyway,
Loki?
congratulations again
Thank you,
on
thank
your
you.
first win, and
Oh.
keep on improving so you
Yes.
can have a better
Yes.
standing. Like
The better you guys do, the
yeah.
better this will look. Now, Mr.
Mhm.
Wap, I have two things to ask you. Is there anyone you want to shout out? And there's also anyone you want to bring to the interview right now, just for, just to make it happier.
First of all, muna shout out kay Mr. Somi for helping
Oh,
us.
wow.
Oh, yun.
Oh.
And shout
Coach
out
and
din
player.
Shoutout din dun sa hindi nanood. Wait lang. I'll bring her over now. A sec.
What is this? He's actually bringing her here. What's actually happening?
Wait,
can hear.
dapat may webcam rin eh. There should be a webcam, like a
webcam.
third.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello, Dax.
Hello,
Hello,
introduce
Yuki.
yourself.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello, I am Engineer Alexa. I'm Wakin's brother.
Brother.
Hello, it's me, your brother.
Basically, his brother, but I'm his sister. Hello po.
Yeah, plus engineer Alex. There you go. Sister
Yes.
of Walkhead. This was like
Yes.
sister. There you go. Let's just put it on like that. So, how are you proud of your brother's performance this match?
Actually, he improved a lot. I didn't expect him na he'll be good at off tank, to be honest. I see him play more on DPS since I'm a support main. We tend to synergize together as siblings, but I didn't expect him to play good as off tank. Yeah,
Oh.
yun.
Yeah, so you must be
Wow, proud
proud.
sister.
Yeah.
Right
What
there.
was your
Proud.
what was your favorite moment of the match from all the four maps? What was your
Actually,
defining moment?
my favorite moment
of the whole game, of the whole match, was his interview actually. Was it? I was watching the stream on my PC. Wala, proud sister walking, doing Taglish. OMG.
Great to hear.
Yeah.
Great to hear.
I'm
Yes,
glad you guys
yes.
are having fun. Since you're on as
Yeah.
well, I just want to ask if you want to shout out anyone before we close things up. Anyone you want to call out or call to in the New Wave Invitational stream.
I want to shout out my recent Overwatch mates. Of course, Wacket, my brother. I've been playing with him for so long. Vernon, I've been playing with him for like months now, like 2 months maybe. Also, Greed and Asterius. Who else? Sino pa ba?
Ooh, ooh,
Oh
ooh.
yeah,
If you say
there.
who else and you forget people, wala na. You're gonna
Did I
there you
forget?
go. No, no,
FOOYG.
Billy doesn't count. Don't worry about him. He never
Oh, yeah,
counts.
Billy doesn't count.
Okay, Billy doesn't count. There you go.
Yeah.
Call,
Okay, can you bring Walk back just so we can finish things up?
Okay,
Thanks,
walk.
Alex. Thanks, Alex. So there you go. That was Alex over there. And now we got Walk back. Before we go, Mr. Walkhead, there's just
Yes.
one more thing I want to ask you for the Memecord squad. What's
Yes.
gonna be the plan into the future? Like I asked you, well, basically what the matches are gonna be unfolding into, but what's the plan for the future? Are you guys gonna be looking to get some practice on? Are you guys just looking to play this out for fun? What is really the deal here with Meme Cord? What's gonna be the story for this invitational?
I think with the recent win, mas ganado ang team sa for practicing. Actually, someone said if Akashi also said if check ba namin yung replays for like a
Ooh.
team bod review. Wow.
Wow, that's professional.
Yeah. So yung narinig ko yun, yes, parang ganado na yung team with this win that we got. So
That's
ayun, that's our plan.
That's great. That's great to hear, and we'll see what your hard work will really bear fruit into the future of the New Wave Invitationals. But that should be about it. And we can wrap things up here and now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Walken, for hopping on into
Thank
our
you.
post-game interview. And now, Mr. Yuki, just before we go, what was your favorite moment of this match? So I want to quickly ask you, what do you feel after a match like that?
I mean, my favorite moment, of course, is fourth map, Overwine, overcoming all odds, winning a map against Memecord. I'm very proud of what they have achieved. Like, it was really for me like every single map. Every single series they've been improving drastically, and I hope it can like continue. It'll just like I hope that they won't stop here. Na afterwards they'll be stuck. I'm hoping that with my guidance as well as their perseverance, they'll be able to um, win more games and be able to if ever my playoffs like they'll meet playoffs or something. And my goal is like to help them um like help them what am I saying again? Like being
Help them
able,
improve?
like not just that, like parang
Uh-huh.
bring out the best in them. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
even
Yeah.
better. Such a proud father. You sound like such a proud dad right here, Mr. Yuki
Yes,
Nate.
I
And
am
he's
dancing it.
he's doing a lot of work to really bring the Overwine squad to a very competitive level. It's very very commendable, especially working with basically the like if, in all honesty the lowest ranking squad in terms of SR, and really bringing something like that out of them was very very impressive, especially against basically a powerhouse in the making that is Meme Court. So well done to Mr. Fascinate, and well done to Overrun really getting things done. I know there are a bunch of teams here and there that do have coaches as well, and I love seeing the community getting involved in that way. Also, I know Washed Up Homies has a coach. I know Uber Server has a coach. I know Cakes, which has a debut that has a manager coach kind of deal, and we'll see if everyone else will have something like that. But it's time to show you our standings after everything is said and done after tonight. Well, we all know who is at the top of the field. It's Wamanagi. Seems like they don't need coaching. They just need to be with one another, and
Right,
they can
right.
really police themselves so well. Synergy, vibe check, completely on points, all the way with 3-0. In second place and third place are tied. Gonna be Watch and Ubisoft. They have only played one game, and they do have a perfect record out of that. In fourth place, it's Washed Up Homies taking down Memecord, but losing out against Waminagi. Overbeck's now on 1-2, and it's Memecord now on sixth place, 1-2 as well. Seventh will be Overwine with 0-3, but with one map went to their name. And finally, in 8th place are not debuted yet team of Cakes, looking to make a splash into the scene in this future, into this Thursday with our upcoming matches. So we are getting finalization on those matches, making sure the schedule is a-okay, and we'll be posting that, of course, on our Facebook page very soon. But in the meantime, guys, if you do want to check out the New Wave Invitationals, it's literally chat on Facebook, facebook.com/New Wave Invitationals for our official page. You can use the commands down below to really hop on in as well. And thank you guys for tuning on in. It was a long day. It was a long night, honestly, and it is already almost 12 o'clock. We had 2 great matches
I
today.
know.
It was so solid. Which one do you like
Yeah.
better? Which one did you like better? Try to be objective, like in terms of entertainment. Which one did you like better? Memecord versus Overwine, or was it Waminagi versus Overbex?
In terms of entertainment, I think meme cord and Overwine is like better because there are a lot of close games as opposed to Waminagi versus Overbex. It's very like it's good. It just Waminagi is just showing why they're on top of the food chain, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like but if you really want to like learn on how to like what it takes to be on top in this invitationals, then you should definitely check out um
Waminagi.
Waminagi.
Yeah, there's an absolute powerhouse, that's for sure. And I feel like they are the squad that is gearing up for a 7-0 run if they can make it. But
Right,
hey,
exactly.
there are still a lot of teams to deal with, and there's still a lot of matches coming your way. So on Thursday, expect a double header. We'll be releasing those schedules very soon. But this has been the New Wave Invitationals Week 4, day number 1. And I've been Daks, he's been Fascinate. Shoutouts to Billy as well for co-casting in the previous matchup. I think he's still here. Billy is still here.
He's dead.
He's dead?
He's dead.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he's
there
here.
we go.
Okay, so hi, say hi, Billy, so we can say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, there you go. Very good. Such entertainment value. This has been the New Wave Invitationals. Thank you guys for tuning on, and thank you guys for coming. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys on Thursday for another edition of your local league.